Intro me.
Alright, we're back. So, we have now run this 3135 Rolex movement from a vintage, it's pretty much vintage, 20, 25 years? Yeah, nearly. This lovely Submariner. It's just come out of the cleaner, so it's had a full process cleaner which we covered in a different video. So our job now is to remove, I'm just going to zoom out so you can see that, our job now is to remove all of the items from the basket, so debasket them from the cleaner, and then we're going to reassemble this movement. And go from there.
Okay, so we're going to do all of this in one session, so I'm going to take and dump all my screws carefully into a pile.
So what you're kind of doing now is pre-setting up your workspace, so you're, I assume you'll go back to kind of 5 piles.
I'm not going to dump out the automatic, I'm going to leave it alone, and I'm going to dump out the wheel train, and make sure there's nothing left in the basket. Okay, and I'm actually going to set the main plate aside, and we're going to work on the barrel.
Oh yeah, because the whole reason this came in for service was the
broken
mainspring was broken.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and set the movement holder aside together. So right now all we're working with is the barrel and the barrel cover. Sometimes you have to remove some things and set them aside because there's a lot of stuff in the in the basket. And I'm looking for the arbor. And here's your barrel cover. And the arbor actually is right there because I put them in with the screws. So all they're nice and clean right there. And you don't want to you want to make sure that sliding pinion doesn't get away from us. We'll put him together with the winding pinion. So anyways, right now we're just working with the arbor. Now I'm going to put him upside down in a on my bench block.
Maneuver so we can see that. So you put it onto the bench block.
Yeah. And what I'm showing you now is that the mainspring is going to wind counterclockwise to the arbor, and it's going to pin counterclockwise. And we don't want to make radical movements with the bench block because we don't want to lose the arbor. But I always put the arbor on my bench block. And here's our barrel. And I'm going to inspect it again to make sure there isn't any lint or dust. And it looks really good. And by the way, when we took this apart for the customer, because I think this is part 4.
This is like part 5 now.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember this thing being very klubered, even though I pre-cleaned it. So I can admit maybe that I forget, you know, because it was last week when the customer came in. And by the way, my turnaround time on a Rolex is 1 to 3 weeks. Listen, if you want your Rolex serviced, I'll give it to you in a week. If you're going to a party or an anniversary or on vacation and you want your Submariner for diving, I'll get it done for you. That's just what we do. So let's go ahead and get our little kluber grease here. Remember, I got my finger cots on my 2 fingers that I'm going to handle the barrel with. And, you know, I want you to know that there's a relationship between Lee and I here where I'm training Lee. And the way we met is I serviced his Rolex 3 years ago. And then we started talking, and we've been chatting watches forever. And he said, hey, can I come apprentice with you? And I had to think that through. Can you see that angle there? Or
I'm just going to move it around a little bit so you can see it.
You want me to turn it?
You can. If you turn it a little bit towards us, that would help.
How's that?
Yeah. For those of you watching this, you're getting a holistic video of us putting a 3135 back together. But actually, we did a separate video on just lubricating the, you call it the mainspring barrel? Is that the right term?
It's the barrel. Yeah.
So with the kluber and the little
how about that?
The little legs.
Can you see better now?
Yep. I'm just going to turn it.
So look, we're just applying that kluber to the riding surface of the perimeter of the barrel. Now I did get a little bit carried away there, so I'm going to clean it off. Here we go. And I'll make sure.
Now you kind of, when you're grabbing the grease here, you want a kind of dangly down leg of grease that you can then just kind of lay onto those flat sections for lubrication.
Yeah. nobody's really shared with me what you call those,
The legs.
the surfaces that the
Oh, I was going to say I'd call them dangleberries. But
okay. All right.
why don't we call them? I don't know.
Let's make sure I'm in the range of your...
Kluber cleats.
God, that's a good one.
There you go.
Yeah. Kluber surfaces. How's that?
Kluber cleats.
What's a cleat in this
It's
context?
kind of a flat area that's usually used to align with another piece.
I like it. So I'm swirling the Kluber. Onto the sliding Kluber cleat surface. I'm not sure. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it around. I'm not sure if that camera angle is getting inside the barrel.
No, we're not going into that much detail.
No, but I want you to see it.
But the other video we did,
How's this?
we super zoomed in. Hang on, let me move around a bit.
Can you see it now on camera?
Just about. Your fingers are kind of obscuring it.
Oh, shit.
It's okay. Like I say, we did a whole separate video on
I know,
just
but I
this.
still want you to see me Klubering that surface.
Oh, I'm going to have a look.
Okay.
Well, that's good. We can see it
How
from
about
here.
now?
Yeah, that's good.
So you can see that.
Flatter it is, the better for us.
Because I'm coming in a different angle here so that you can see it with the camera. How's that?
I can see it when you lay it down.
No, but how's that for me
Oh,
applying?
that's not too bad. Yeah, no. So from memory, there's like, is it 5 or 6 sort of flat areas on the whole circumference?
But this barrel has 3.
Okay. So there can be different amounts for different makes of watch.
Different, yeah. Some have 6 and you do every other one. That would be considered a lot. I just want to make sure you can see where it's getting applied. We're almost done here. I just want to neaten it up.
So what I might do is once you've done it, if you lay it down flat, I'll bring the camera in super close so you can see what you're doing.
Okay, well, how's that? I mean, I'm really trying to get it so you can see it.
Yeah,
How's that?
Hang on, give me a couple of seconds and I'll zoom right in. So, let's go and have a closer look. Ooh. Well, coming in.
So I'm applying it so that it's even, and I'm actually pre-spreading it. There's some that got in the crack there. I will clean that up because it's going to spread with the spring. How's that view?
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's not too bad.
It's almost like holding a dime and rolling it. A little hard to do.
Non-pneumatic hang devices.
Now this one has 4, so I'm going to put a little more on that one. Got a little phone call there. Almost done here. So I'm trying to Kluber it so that we have an even bead of Kluber for the mainspring too. slip on. And I'm going to smooth out. God, I hope you can see that surface there. And then when I clean it, it will be removing some. So I put the Kluber on 4 sides because there's 4
Kluber cleats.
racing Kluber cleat surfaces on this barrel. So I'm going to use my stick to remove any excess where the barrel cover snaps in. And I'm using my loop. I'm kind of working behind the barrel here. I hope we're doing good here.
So you're just using your little wooden stick to just clean
Yeah,
up
and I'm
some
cleaning the
areas.
stick off with my dirty Rodico. I'm getting any excess Kluber off. There we go. And now I'm gonna cut a wedge on the stick so that I can clean the underside of that line. So this stick here now is really sharp, and I'm just going to go ahead inside. You might not be able to see this, but I'm wiping the underside and removing anything that I think is extra. And I've been really successful with my stick doing this, and it just removes any excess Kluber and it gives me a nice uniform bead. It's really picking up Kluber on the top of the stick, and it brings me into some kind of conformity with applying an even amount of Kluber. I'm holding the barrel so you can see it while I clean off any excess. And I've never opened a watch that had a lot of Kluber that you couldn't see the Kluber did spread to places where you know, so it's not a perfect world, this stuff. Yeah. And I'm just looking at my line, my bead of Kluber inside that barrel. See, a little messy right there. I'm going to clean that off. There you go. So now you can see the Kluber line there. I'll bring it around for you. So I've got my Kluber right on the racing surface of the perimeter of the barrel, and you call it cleats. We can discuss that later.
We'll let people put comments. So we're just going to stop here on that one. So that's the next part. Please like and subscribe. And
No, I didn't mean that. I meant we'll just pause to edit. I'm grabbing a spring.